Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So it's time for a new action product called the Battletron. So the action stores for the people in the US and other parts of the world, it's basically like this cheap store where you can find like the cheapest stuff, but sometimes for quite a good quality. Again, like we're going to check out this new Battletron Nintendo Switch controller. It comes with every single feature, or almost every single feature the original have. For example, we're having the 6-axis like control. Also, they have like an ergonomic design, they're saying over here, and it even having the gyro sensor. So like a couple of things that you're going to need. For example, when you're playing some Mario games, you just need to have it. And of course, vibration function. The design is something we have seen many times before. Here in my country, we have like even different kind of like companies. They are all selling the same controller, or you will think they will sell the same controller, because in a previous video I've made on my Dutch channel, there are even like minor differences. Maybe we can look at it today too. Nevertheless, what we're going to get is some general information. This thing needs to be charged at least with 5 volt 2 amps. It comes with a lithium polymer battery that has only 600 milliamp and will mostly give you like a couple of hours of gameplay. Like the battery life of these things are not great, and a very nice recyclable packaging. Yeah, besides I think, yeah, it's a tie wrap. Tie wrap is plastic, can be recycled. Nevertheless, I already checked out the previous models and I'm really curious if they did any improvements, or is it just a repackaging of the old controller. Let's see what we're going to get more. Here we're having the cable. It's in Type-C nowadays. I love Type-C, by the way, or USB-C. Then we're going to get the Battletron gaming controller manual, the toilet paper manual. But you're going to need this one, simply because you need to check out how you need to configure, but also basically like how to connect this with your Nintendo Switch. Another thing is we also have a turbo function, and that is something I really like about these controllers. The ergonomic design, I'm just going to be honest, I do agree with them. I personally really love this controller over my Nintendo Switch Pro, but that's of course personal. The resistance of the joystick is very nice, but the D-pad, I'm a D-pad guy and I mostly play with the D-pad, and I can tell you this thing looks very nice. Like it's very huge, but also have a nice curve to it. They were having like the turbo button, the home button, the minus plus, or in my case, select and start. And we're having like every single function the original controller also implements. But when it comes to the ergonomics and everything else, like it's a 15 euro controller. Like I really love the shell. I personally prefer it even over my Pro controller, but of course it has like the same kind of like say connection, so that's also great. But the button touch is of course nothing like Nintendo, because Nintendo is just that high quality, I can tell you, yeah, absolutely Pro controller. But how does it actually work when it comes like connecting? That's something I just needed to show you. So connecting the controllers, especially like not the original ones, I find it a lot of mumbo jumbo, you know? Like I don't really like doing that on the Switch, but nevertheless, the first thing you need to do is go into flight mode. And the reason why is over here you can find the Bluetooth setting. That needs to be setting to on. If you don't have this, you cannot connect anything else. So that's something you always need to double check. Okay, the next thing you can do, you can just try to connect it wirelessly through the system itself with the controller check. Of course, it is going to be like a search for the controllers and a lot of mumbo jumbo doing this. Pairing controllers, yeah, you know, like this system, personally, I don't like it at all. Connecting, here you give you like a great example. You can use the wireless function by using the certain kind of buttons, or you're going to use it through the dock. But if you don't have the dock like me at the moment, you can do something else. We have like the USB-C to the USB-C cable. And the thing that we need to do is just plug in the controller. And this is absolutely one of those cables you can buy, for example, on 4D Action or AliExpress for not a lot of money. And these things are so convenient. So let's plug it in and then plug it into the controller. And everything needs to be working like it normally does. Then we basically can connect it super easy like that. And you have like a controller configured with your Nintendo Switch. What you can do is go into the controller menu where you can check out if a controller has been connected, and here you can see it works like a charm. So what I do understand, you cannot really power on the system with this controller so far, I know, and you can do just the rumble function. And the first thing I've noticed with the rumble function, it goes very aggressive. The rumble function is completely different when you compare this with the original controller. This is something I'm always noticing with these fake controllers or Battletron controllers, how you want to call these things. So that's something you need to take consideration. Don't you love these silicone things? I don't know exactly why you're putting it on them, but okay. Alright, so let's put this thing in position and let's try a couple of games. The first game I wanted to try is of course Super Mario Kart. This is one of the games I mostly play on this, if I'm even playing on my Nintendo Switch. But and again, like I don't notice any like input lag of problems. Next one I just wanted to check out is the home function, see if everything works, like we can capture a screenshot. Yup, everything seems to be working just as it is. The next thing I wanted to check out is Sonic Mania. And the reason why, because this is one of those games I use the D-pad for. And I just want to check out how the turbo function will be implementing in the game itself. Does it work? Because with Sonic it can be very convenient. We have a couple of buttons to jump, so we can map one of them to the turbo function. The D-pad is very responsive. I really love the D-pad size. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do is hold the turbo and pressing the A. So that's it. That's the only thing we need to do. And then we have automatically set the A button to turbo. If you're going to do the same sequence again, pressing the T with A, we're going to have like let's say the turbo function number 2. And if you're going to do the third time, then we basically don't have any turbo on the A. It's super convenient and it works super fast. So if you want to switch between buttons, or at least like the turbos with buttons, you can do that fairly easy. Another game I really wanted to try out is Street Fighter 2. And the reason why, because I just wanted to check out how responsive the D-pad actually is. Because with games like fighting games like Street Fighter, it's absolutely necessary that has like a great input. So let's see what we're going to get when it comes to Street Fighter itself. Okay, we need to remove the turbo. I already set it like to the second one over here. That will automatically start giving turbo. Here you can see like you turn it on and off. Alright, so that's it. Okay. Next thing we're going to see if the D-pad works, and yup, indeed the D-pad instantly oh man, I'm like flabbergasted. Like this thing plays absolutely amazing. How good it is. Wow. Okay, it was like a quick personal handicap, but beside that, like the analog stick is another great way to play, but for the D-pad I am very, very happy with this. But who is this Battletron controller for, or the one from AliExpress? So basically, when you're going to get yourself a Pro controller and you want to have like a second controller, it's great, you know. I think the Pro controller is absolutely superior when it comes to the quality. Nothing beats original Nintendo stuff. But I think the Battletron controller is such a cool device. Like if you just want to have like a cheap solution, you don't want to pay like 70 freaking dollars or euro, depending where you're buying and finding it. But these things are like crazy expensive, the Pro controllers from Nintendo, and the Battletron for 15 euro I'm paying here, it's absolutely steal. I think for that price you cannot even buy it from AliExpress. But yeah, and again, maybe you can find some different like so ways to get it for cheap. But they are absolutely great, great comfort, and they are like dirty cheap to buy. Let me know in the comments what do you think of these aftermarket controllers. Thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, and it will be great to see you in the next video.